All right, students, you are ready to put some very big and important things into your math journal. Please open your math journal. The last page you have created looked like this. Turn to the next page on the right-hand side, and we are going to write these words at the top. Related facts. Related facts. This is a similar idea to number bonds, only these are like number bonds for multiplication and division rather than number bonds for addition and subtraction. So if you were to, I want you to skip one line, one baseline down right next to this red line, and I want you to write the problem 3 times 1, or 3 groups of 1. And of course write the answer, that would be 3. Now, if we were to use those as number bonds, a 1 bonded to a 3, and multiply them, you would have 3 as your answer. But if you were to flip all your bonds around, you could still say 1 times 3 still equals 3. So write that down. You can say it 3 times 1, 3 groups of 1, or 1 group of 3, still gives you 3 little jelly beans. But what if you take those 3 jelly beans and you divide them between your own self? You have 3 divided into 1 person each gets a jelly bean, and that would equal 3. 3 cut down to 1 in a group still gives you 3 jelly beans. But if you have 3 jelly beans and you give 1 to 3 of your friends, each person only gets 1 jelly bean. So notice you're doing 3 times 1 equals 3. Flip those around. 1 times 3 equals 3. If you go backwards, 3 divided by 1, or 3 cut into 1 group, you're going to get 3. If you have 3 cut into 3 different groups, divided into 3 different groups, you get 1 each. All of those are just doing some number ninja with your fun cutting and multiplying skills. So let's move on, and we're going to go to 3 times 2. So next to it, leave a little bar space there. You're going to go 3 times 2. Your page should look exactly like mine. Now 3 times 2 we know is 3, 6 equals 6. So put that answer down. Now flip those two numbers and you'll get the same thing. 2 groups of 3 also equals 6. Now flip those numbers again and divide. If you start out with 6 jelly beans and you divide them into 2 different groups, each group will have 3. You're still using 2 and 3 and 6. If you have 6 jelly beans and you divide them into 3 groups, you will have 2 in each group. You can do this. You can get yourself out some jelly beans. Get yourself 6 jelly beans and put them into 2 groups. Get yourself 6 jelly beans and put them into 3 groups. How many do you have in each group? And you will prove this true. Let's keep going and write our next one, which is 3 groups of 3, which you already know is 3, 6, 9. Now flip those numbers. This one's fun because you flip the numbers and guess what? They look exactly the same. That means I get a little smiley face up here because that's really funny. And then if you were going to take your 9 jelly beans and divide them into 3 groups, each group would have, well, 3. 9 divided by 3 would equal 3. And 9, this is the funny part, if you switch those numbers, look, it looks exactly the same. Wah, wah, wah. Skip a baseline now, please, once you have those written. And we're going to start our 3 times 4 down here. 3 groups of 4 equals what? Well, 3, 6, 9, 12. And then switch those numbers. 3 groups of 4 is the same as 4 groups of 3. You're still going to have 12 jelly beans. Take those 12 jelly beans and divide them into 4 groups. And how many in each group? 3. Do you see a pattern here? Again, you take 12, divide it into 3 equal groups, and what's the number going to be? 4, because 4 and 3 and 12 are a number bonded group family. Make sure you have that written down correctly. Moving on to 3 times 5. 3 groups of 5 equals 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Now flip the numbers. 5 times 3 is going to be the same answer. And then take your 15 and divide it into 5 groups. You will have 3 in each group. And 15 put into 3 groups cut into 3 groups is going to give you 5. Notice how all the numbers are related. You just are ninjaing them around to show the same amount of jelly beans on the table. Now let's go to 6. 3 groups of 6 jelly beans. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So then we have, switch those numbers around. 3 groups of 6 is the same as 6 groups of 3, which still equals 18. We haven't changed the number of jelly beans on the table. We have 18 jelly beans now. Divide them into 6 groups. You will have 3 in each group. If you have 18 jelly beans and you divide them into 3 equal groups, you're going to have 6 in each group. Make sure yours looks like mine and you're using all the same numbers in each group family. They are related, just like you and the people in your house. Now let's go on. Guess what you're going to put here? 3 times. You got it. 3 times 7. Well, I don't remember what that is, but I know I can count 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. There we go. So then if I flip those numbers around, 7 groups of 3 is going to be the same answer. Now I take those jelly beans, 21 jelly beans, and I divide them into 7 groups. Each group is going to have 3. If I take those 21 jelly beans and I divide them into 3 groups, then each group is going to have more. They're going to have 7, because 3 and 7 and 21 are bonded together as related facts. Moving on, what do you think we're going to do next? You are correct. 3 times 8, 15, 18, 21, 24. 3 times 8 is 24. So 8 groups of 3 is also 24. Let's make a division sentence out of that. 24 divided by 8 is going to equal, and then 24 divided by 3, or into 3 groups, is going to be 8 in each group. You getting the hang of this? All right, let's keep going. 3 times 9 is going to equal 27. And so let's flip those around, the same groups. 9 times 3 then, 9 groups of 3 is going to also equal 27. Take those 27 jelly beans, divide them by 9. You're going to end up with 3 in each group. Take those 27 jelly beans and divide them into 3 groups, and each kid's going to get 9. I think I like that one better because I get more jelly beans. In the very center, skip a baseline, we're going to do our last fact family in the 3s, which is 3 times 10, or 3 groups of 10. You guys all know that that one's 30. That would be the same as saying 10 times 3 equals 30, which would be the same as saying 30 jelly beans divided into 10 groups would equal 3 in each group, or 30 jelly beans divided by 3 groups is going to equal 10 in each group. Make sure your page looks like mine here for the related facts. Pause it if you need to check, and turn the page. We're going to do some more writing. We're going to put related facts at the top of this page as well. Related facts. We've done our 3s. What do you think we're going to do now? Oh, you guys are so quick. We're going to do our 4s. Skip a baseline, please. Start at the red baseline. These are going to be pretty quick because you know these pretty well. We've been doing them this week. 4 times 1 is 4. Excellent. Flip your numbers. 1 group of 4 is also 4. I'm going to pause here to tell you this is a fancy word. When you can change the places, it's called the commutative property of multiplication. That means just like addition, you can change the order of these numbers and your answer stays the same. Now we're going to put 4 at the beginning. 4 divided by 1 is going to equal 4, going over this way, and 4 divided into 4 equal groups is going to be 1 candy bar in each group. Let's go to 4 times 2. Write it on your next, so that you are in the center of your page now. 4 times 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, or 4, 8, 12. And then flip those numbers around. Number Ninja, we're going to have now 2 groups of 4. Is also going to equal the same number. Now divide. We're going to start with our biggest number. You always start with your biggest number when you divide. Divide by the 2 first. 8 divided by the 2 is going to give you 4. 8 divided by the 4 is going to give you the 2. They're all connected. Please, let's go to 4 times 3. 4 groups of 3. I don't remember, but I can have a song. 4, 8, 12. So 4 times 3 is 12. And then I have reversed that thing, 3 times 4, or equals 12. Take your biggest number, your answer in the multiplication, and now let's cut it down and go shrinking down into smaller groups. 12 divided by 3 is going to give you 4 in each group. If I have 12 candy bars and I divide them between 4 of my friends, each friend is going to get 3 candy bars. Skip a baseline, please. One of my favorite ones, 4 times 4 equals 4, 8, 12, 16. Well, I'm going to flip that 4 and that 4, which gives me, oh my goodness, you know what that means? I get to have a smiley face because it looks funny to have the same thing written twice. And then I'm going to take my 16 candy bars and I'm going to divide them between my 4 friends, and each friend gets 4. Or I'm going to take my 16 candy bars, I'm going to divide them by my other 4 friends, and they're each going to get 4. Well, what would be next? 4 times 4, so we're going to do 4 groups of 5. Yep. 4 times 5 is 5, 10, 15, 20, or 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Still getting the same answer. You can do it either way, because we're going to also show you that split those numbers around. 5 times 4, 5 groups of 4 is 20. And 20 divided by 5 is going to equal 4, which means 20 divided by 4 is going to equal 5. Number games, super fun. All right, let's keep writing. We have 4 times 6. Is your hand getting tired yet? 4 times 6, we have 16, 20, 20, 4, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. We're sure that's correct. So then we do 6 times 4, which is the exact same number, 24, if we're doing groups of. 24, we're going to cut it down, dividing by 6, which will equal 4. And then 24 divided by 4 would equal 6. Shake your hand out a little bit. Whew. All right, 4 times 6. So this one's going to be 4 times, 7. 16, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. And then 4 times 7 is 28. And so we already know that 7 times 4 would be 28. And we know that 28 then, divided into 7 groups, would be 4 in each group. And 28 divided by 4 would give us 7 in each group. They're all related. You use the same 3 numbers for the whole family. All right, next one, 4 times 7. This would be 4 times, 8, which equals, can you remember off the top of your head? Good, 32. Flip those 2 numbers. 4 times 8 is this, 4 groups of 8 is the same as 8 groups of 4. And we have 32. Now let's make it smaller. Take our answer. Whoops, Mrs. Letch, you can't write a 2. Shame on you. 32 divided by 8 is going to equal 4. So 32 divided by into 4 groups is going to equal 8 in each group. 4, 8, 32. They belong together. Just like you and me in 2nd grade. Here we go. Last big one before we get to our center one. 4 times 9. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, and 36. So 4 times 9 is 36, so we flip that around. 9 times 4. And then 36 divided by, cut it into 9 parts, and you're going to get 4 in each part. If you have 36 and you divide it into 4 parts, you're going to get 9 in each part. Parts and wholes. This is our whole. When we're multiplying up, we're taking our whole and we're cutting it back down into parts. Parts and whole. That's what we're dealing with. No big change from kindergarten. You're just doing it now in equal groups. Let's do 4 times 10 as our last one. Please skip a baseline. Put it in the center. 4 times 10 equals 40, which means 10 times 4 equals 40. And 40 divided by 10 is going to equal 4. You know what's funny about this? When you take a 40 and you divide it by 10, you just chop off the 0. Isn't that neat? I love that. That's so fun. And then 40 divided by 4. Now you can't do it with a 4, but it equals 10. Take away. All right. You're going to use these 2 pages now, students. Check and make sure yours looks like mine. If you need to pause it to verify, you can. These 2 pages you will take a picture of for me tonight. You will use these pages in your workbook to divide using related multiplication facts. This is on page 147 of your book. You are going to use those pages. 4 times what equals 8? Well, 4 times 2 equals 8. So 2 times 4 equals 8. So 8 divided by 2 is 4, and 8 divided by 4 is 2. This is the same kind of thing we just did in your book. So you should have all of these answers in your math workbook. On this page here, we are going to notice, I'm going to have you put these empty numbers in your book here. A teacher divides 21 books equally. So we're going to put our 21 at the first. Do that now. Equally among 3 children. So you're going to put your biggest number first, and you're going to cut it into 3 sections. You have 21 books divided among 3 children. We have equally right here. So we know we're doing equal groups, and we know we're dividing. How many books does each girl get? 21 divided by 3. Well, 3 times what is 21? Well, I don't remember. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. Well, I know it's 7. And so that's the answer. Each child gets 7 books. I want you to have that written in here. If you aren't sure what 21 divided by 3 is, you can turn back to your related facts of 3s and see 21 divided by 3 is right here. The answer's here. You can check yourself. This is the example you will use now that we've done it together through all the rest of these pages. It should go pretty quickly. Your largest number is going to go first because you're dividing. You'll go all the way till you get to page 150. Take a picture of those for me and send them to me. Way to go, little human calculators. I'm impressed with you. See you soon.